Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Devin McCourty was on Good Morning Football. Is that what it's called? Made some news talking about Mac. I called it a Patriots Nation pep talk. Knowing the way the Patriots operate, there's probably some people in the room saying, let's not pay this guy $16 million. Let's just start over with another guy. Like Paul Perillo says, they're just loose change.
Yeah, but propaganda propping Mac Jones up. By some people, I mean like Adam Jones, who's the Dark Knight himself.
I mean, he's really good at what he does, but I hate what he does.
Chicken pot pie is
delicious.
Underrated midwinter.
Oh yeah,
dinner.
but you can't have the chicken pot pie with the peas and the carrots in it.
I like the carrots.
Don't put them in my pie.
I don't like peas.
Keep
but I
your
like
peas
carrots.
out of my pie.
Wow.
Well, if you haven't noticed, I eat out a lot, and my wife doesn't really particularly enjoy it either, so because I don't cook. But I love pie. Yep, sure. Give me a pie.
Stop laughing, Matt.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Fueled by Duncan.
All right, welcome to PFW. I'm Patriots Unfiltered. I got PFW in my head because I got a lot of old people emailing.
That was a couple years ago, no?
No, yeah, but, Megan O'Brien called in last show, and that was a great conversation we had with her, and then people were
Not sure
on
it was
Twitter
PFW
saying,
in progress when she was on it either.
Yeah, I'm just about to say, people were saying, it was good to hear from you, Megan, and she said, I miss my PFW guys. So it was on my mind. Anyway, that was fun to listen to her last show, but it's Alex, it's Paul, it's me, it's Matt in the booth, and Faith in the booth. We'll have Faith today.
You got to have faith.
Yeah.
I'll bet she's never heard that one.
Deuce and Evan are out at the Combine. We'll hear from one of them later in the show. So that'll be good. We'll get some updates. But, there's a lot going on at the Combine. One of the top picks today has maybe some legal problems. He came out with a statement with Jalen Carter. He came out with a statement just recently saying that he's confident that he's going back there to clear things up and it won't be a big deal.
Yeah,
but
supposedly he's back at the Combine already.
He
went home, turned himself in, quote unquote, and then went back.
Yeah, so hopefully for his sake it's not a big deal, but we'll see. If it is, then that does shake up the top of the draft and trickles down to the Patriots. But again, we'll see.
You take
what
him
happens.
at 14?
Yeah.
Of course.
No, it depends. We'll see what happens.
No, I agree.
I don't want to pass judgment.
Yeah, and I don't have all the information, so I'm not going to tell you how far he will drop or not. My guess is he's not going to drop at all.
Yeah.
But I don't have all that information, and neither do the teams yet. That's why they're there.
But I'll bet you those top 5 teams are scrambling right now to get more info.
extra background work.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It seems to me like a few years ago that would have been something that really made him plummet.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's
It
different
depends
now.
on what his actual role is. Now, as you said, Fred, he claims that he really, when people find out what happened, this is going to be nothing for him.
Right.
He wasn't in the car that was, unfortunately involved in the accident.
Yeah. So apparently he's only cited with a misdemeanor anyway.
Right.
So,
but there is like reckless driving.
Yeah.
And, like supposedly racing.
Right.
Or whatever.
I mean,
I'm not sure you need to lose your profession because you
no, but
That's why the timing of it with the Combine is so. It does not sit well with me.
Some of the players were saying that yesterday. I saw on Twitter.
And everybody's mind goes back to Henry Ruggs from a couple years ago, and they're thinking about that. So. All right, but that's going on, and of course, yesterday was the first day that our guys had a chance to talk to some players. So if you go to Patriots.com, they have the Day 2 wrap-up yesterday with Mike and Evan. Check that out.
Check it out.
Because you'll get all their thoughts from yesterday, and they'll do the same thing today. They'll do a Day 3 wrap-up at the end of today on Patriots.com, and you'll see that on the Patriots social channels as well. So good job being done out there by everybody.
Yes.
At the Combine.
Yes.
Yep. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yep. I'm not snowed in anymore.
That's good. And you did get snow. Where do you live?
Western Mass, yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got hit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you guys got hit. I got nothing.
Really?
Nothing. I mean, there was a wet, heavy snow early in the morning, maybe an inch. That was it.
Well, it was that morning I woke up and I was like, wow, I got bamboozled. I thought I wasn't going to drive in, and then I went to go take a shower, and then the snow really started coming down. So I don't know if it was just late or what happened, but
I think it just depended where you live.
yeah.
We were, I think, near the coast.
Well, you're on the water there, Paul. So.
Yeah. Well, you're not. You live on the Cape.
Yeah,
Mr. Cape Cod.
Okay. No, I mean, I am, but I just want, you are too. You know, so.
Right, and we didn't get very much.
Yeah. Right.
Well, me
You
out
and I,
in the
which
country.
is why we were the only two people in the organization that were here on
It's
Tuesday.
the ocean effect. Yeah,
I was out in the boonies shoveling myself out.
absolutely. All right, so what do we got going today? Anything interesting?
Well, I mean, I think there are a couple of different things. There was, and now I don't have the name in front of me. I meant to tweet this out. I mean, to print this out. There's a member of Aaron Wilson had a tweet saying that there was a gentleman, and now I don't have the name in front of me, so I'm going to have to find it. Aaron Wilson tweeted a addition for the Patriots scouting department, personnel department. And he was here before too. That's why I can't remember his name. So he's returning, and evidently there was some interest in him.
At a high level or just a scout?
No, well, it didn't say exactly what he was going to be doing, but he was involved in scouting with the Patriots in the past. I'll get it in a second.
All right.
So that was a minor thing involving the Patriots. Pat Stewart. Patriots expected to add former Panthers Vice President of Player Personnel, Pat Stewart, a former Eagles national scout and New England staffer, to the scouting department, per league sources.
He's currently a vice president?
He's Vice President of Player Personnel.
Okay. So, I don't know anything. I'm going to...
Former. He was the former.
Yeah, I know, but
of the
he was at a high level. I'm wondering... I don't know anything if this means Elliott Wolf might be on the move.
Could be. He says, Aaron Wilson says he drew interest around the NFL, including from former Patriots executives who are now GMs. So the Monty Austin-Forge, the Jason Lights of the world.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm missing.
Yeah, I don't see why they would be adding someone with that type of back experience unless there's someone leaving.
You could be right. If he's replacing, I would say Elliott Wolf because it looks like Matt Groh is.
Yeah, the fact that Matt Groh, by the way, Matt Groh was available to our people out there, so you'll be hearing that interview also on Patriots.com later. But the fact that football made Matt Groh available to us tells me that he ain't going anywhere, But Elliott Wolf might be, and that's why you'd bring in somebody from that level, I think because, as you know, Paul,
I think you're reading the tea leaves well.
Yeah, as you know, Paul, we're not one to have a staff that needs to be bigger than it should be.
That is true. It's really served him well since Brady left.
Lean and efficient.
There's one thing that a lot of people tweeted me today, wondering if we were going to talk about, was this NFLPA report card that came out yesterday about all the teams. They polled players from every team about their team and asked them to grade, different things like the facilities, the training room, nutrition, weight room, travel. Patriots didn't do so well.
No, 24th.
Yeah. Now,
overall,
being the company man that I am, I know a lot of the areas that the Patriots didn't grade so well on are in the works being revamped. The Patriots, there's a lot of construction going on here today, this year, and there's a huge building being erected just outside the stadium, adjacent to the stadium, and the first 2 floors of that building are being dedicated to football. So I would imagine that their facilities are being refreshed, revamped, expanded, and that's going to address a lot of the stuff that was in that report card.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the one thing I thought of when I saw some of this stuff come out yesterday, and Alex and I talked about it a little bit this morning, was back in the summer, and we talked about it on our show when the Patriots were out in Vegas.
Yep.
Taj Mahal.
Right? And Bill made those comments about the Taj Mahal, and I had made a comment that I wouldn't be surprised if that was in reference to the facilities. And I think, as you just pointed out, I think Robert Kraft heard it too.
No doubt.
Because that's what some of the things that they're working on. I know a lot of people are talking about the new video board and the new lighthouse. Those are things that have nothing to do with football.
Right.
That's for the fan experience and whatnot. But these are other things that haven't gotten as much attention that are also, as you said, Fred, in the works.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next time they do one of these, and I think this is a really good thing, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the first
time,
right?
Yeah.
First time they've ever done it, and it's all the players, and so it's not like some media guy with an axe to grind or the opposite, a bucket of water to carry for the organization. This is the players themselves.
Yep.
And I think players keep track of this stuff.
Yep.
And when they they head into free agency, and this is more information.
Yep.
For the players.
And,
I think that's a good thing.
And that's the thing. Free agency, money is the driver of where.
If you give a guy more money than everybody else, then you're going to get him.
But if everything being equal,
right,
then this stuff starts to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important that Robert Kraft has listened.
Where you live, taxes like how much am I going to be
Yep.
taxed on my income?
Jordan Poyer just said that. Did you see that?
Oh, is that right?
He goes, yeah. He's a free agent. He's like, I don't know, maybe somewhere where I don't have to give half my money back.
Right. And then the facilities, creature comforts, how my family going to be treated. It's all important, after money. So, like I said, and you mentioned, Bill talking about the Raiders facilities. The stuff that's going on here, that was going on before Bill mentioned that. So it wasn't like Robert heard that. It's like, oh, we better get going. This stuff had already been
trying to be a company.
Ground had broken already on this stuff. So I just want to get the facts out there because I know a lot of people are running with this saying, oh, the Patriots, they're stink, it's
That's so dumb though, 'cause, it's obvious we don't have a brand new stadium.
Right. It's been around for over 20 years.
To me, it's promising that our actual staff isn't getting torn to shreds like other teams, certain strength training departments. Like I would rather have the people being rated as very good because you're not going to, if it's a normal job, you're not leaving a job because you don't have a new office. People are what keep you here. People keep you around. People help you look over those things.
Yeah.
That's the best that they finished was training staff.
Yeah.
They got an A in that.
That's important.
And they were tied for 9th. That's the highest they ranked in the 7 categories. Fred, you made a comment just before we went on the air. Though it looks like a lot of the people involved have fared well.
Yeah.
That one for the Patriots was accurate. Tied for 9th, that's the strongest that you had.
Yeah, and it was an A.
Food service and nutrition. Yeah, but you don't get deceived by the grades. As an example, there's a category here that they finished with a B+. Well, that ranked tied for 28th.
Right, because a lot of teams like what they have.
Right.
Yeah.
So, don't just look at the letter grade and say, oh, they were good in that, bad in this. The ranking is where you're sort of comparing it to.
Yeah. So that's that. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about.
No, I'm glad that you brought it up because, and I printed it out just in case people were asking. I saw someone on Twitter was like, I hope you guys are talking about this today because we shy away from everything here.
Yeah, I know.
Right. In our soap for the slot, conversations, it pretty much anything is on board. Unless you want to specifically talk about the personalities of our bosses, mean, let's face it, we're pretty open here.
Yeah.
So,
no,
put your muscles away.
It is what it is. But the one thing I was a little bit surprised on was travel. The Patriots didn't fare well in travel. I think it was a D or something like that.
I have that here.
I don't know what it was, but it was lower than I expected it to be. The Patriots famously have aircraft. It's a 760
team travel D+ tied for 20.
Yeah, it's a 767. There's plenty of room for everybody. Nobody is sitting next to each other. The food's great. I can vouch for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was funny because the comments on team travel would indicate it was better than it was.
Right.
Yeah,
it says,
the comments, there's
it
nothing
says 54%
really
of
incriminating.
players feel like they didn't have enough room to spread out, which
No,
obviously
54% feel like they have enough room.
Okay, so 46. That's a lot. 46% didn't think that they had enough room.
Right.
But then they point out the fact that there's no roommates and the seats are bigger than the standard coach seats. So
that's why I wish it was
I don't
almost
know.
more detailed.
Right.
I want more tea.
But I will say, I liked the planes before. I got to be honest with you, Freddie. And I was spoiled.
No.
I'm just like the rest of you guys. I won't fly commercial anymore.
I know.
I'm
I hear
spoiled
you.
rotten.
It
But
is
I
tough.
wonder if they did. Is there anywhere that says how many players from each team answered the survey? Like, did some teams?
I think it just said over 1,300 players participated. I don't think it broke it down by team.
I've been wondering if like some teams had everybody respond and other teams had just a few. I don't know.
I would hope it would be every single one.
I would hope so too, but 1,300 is pretty much the whole league.
Yeah, but if you don't have a consistent number of people from each team reporting, it can get kind of construed that way too.
Yeah.
So that's like 41
if 4
players
Patriots
per team
answered and like everyone on the Eagles answered, you're not going to get the same answers.
Well, I'll bet you everybody on the Commanders answered.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. So
that's like some of the things that you look at this, and I agree with you, Fred. To me, there are different things. Like the Arizona Cardinals finishing down the bottom of this, and one of the marks against the Cardinals. Do you know they charge the players to eat in the facility?
I did not know
that.
That's
it's taken out of their check. It's like
that's like Moneyball when they had to pay for soda in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just find that amazing that like you, as an organization, you want to try to get your players in the facility as much time as possible.
That's right. Don't give them an excuse to have to leave.
And the Patriots offer all 3 meals.
Yep.
To the players.
Yep.
And then the Cardinals do that, and they charge for them.
Yeah,
like
that's weird.
That to me is amazing.
Like for me, for employees, like I welcome that. Like some type of subsidized lunch where I pay a little bit.
Well, we have that coming.
Right, and we have that coming.
We have a better situation than the Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
No, we'll have to pay for it too, like the Cardinals. But you'd think that the players would have to pay for it.
Now,
it's amazing to me.
We're going to have to pay like $5 or $6 for a full meal, which is fine with me.
That's I'm looking forward to that as a fact.
Yeah, that's cheaper than going out. But to me, like no matter what the price is for a player, it's kind of petty. It's kind of
it's really petty.
Yeah.
You have to feed them,
yeah.
Especially if you want them eating healthy things, like not. Especially some of these young guys, rookies, undrafted guys. These are the players you want to be developing. You want them to have just rock solid nutrition. And if you leave it up to them or their bank accounts, they're not going to buy organic food. They're not going to buy they're not going to get the best food.
These guys, as much as they make, if there's a free T-shirt being given out, they want one. It's like there's still like.
Well, no one gets more free stuff than celebrities and athletes.
No, I know,
yeah,
they take it. It's not like they turn it down,
as they should.
So like they penny pinch just like we do.
Well, I tell the stories all the time about when you walk around at the combine and the guys walking around with their OL 29 shirt on, like you didn't get anything else, like you've had that on all day.
Yeah,
well, it was free.
Yeah.
But the nutrition part of it that Alex brought up too, and do you remember the story about Taylor Price? Remember Taylor Price was like a 3rd-round receiver who never panned out. Well, he had really bad problems in high school and college, cramping. He would have really bad problems with his muscles, and they always told him, you need to hydrate more.
Drink water.
Right? You need to hydrate more. You know what he used to do? He used to drink Mountain Dew to hydrate. Because he didn't know. Like he thought, well, I'm hydrating.
It's the Paul Perillo trainer.
Right.
Nutrition.
Right.
Nutrition plan.
But like I'm not willfully ignorant. I know right from wrong. Like this guy didn't have that information. So you want the guys in your facility as often as possible because you want them working on what they're supposed to be working on. And B, you want them in a lot of cases to be keeping their bodies in tune
and educated on
food.
And a lot of these guys come from places of food insecurity, or they just they're not growing up in LA eating organic couscous, and you know what I mean.
So last year we had Trent Brown on. We had weight clauses as part of his contract, right?
Yep.
Trent Brown. So what if it was no. You make X amount as long as you're under this amount, but
we're going to charge.
Sorry, you can't eat here unless you're willing to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
Doesn't make sense. It's the cost of doing business, I believe, in the NFL.
I agree.
Feeding these guys.
Well, you're investing in your players' health and their nutrition,
and
you get.
And we have a great
believe it or
nutritionist.
not, you
Yeah.
get
We did
rewarded for that.
Ted Harper.
And we did one on him, right? Do your job
he's
or get to
phenomenal.
whatever.
This is his 10th year here.
Yeah, he came from Ohio State. Really good. The players love him. He takes care of these guys. Each guy has his own plan. When
Sam
he
too, she's wonderful, his assistant.
Yeah, so again, you don't give him an excuse to have to go elsewhere. Tom now Brady he had his own thing, I'm sure, but 99% of the guys, they're taken care of here, both from a nutrition and a conditioning standpoint. And that's why, like, the whole Guerrero and Bill thing, I understand both sides, but I certainly understand Bill's side. Like, okay, Tom, you're going to go with Alex and you're going to do your thing. But this whole lobbying other players to leave the facility and get off of our training, that's no good. This is why I have Moses Cabrera here and Ted Harper, and we believe in our program, and I don't want you recruiting guys to go elsewhere, and by the way, also argue with our guys, which was happening, I think, in Gronk's situation, So,
well, then they feel pressure too.
Yeah, they
to
feel,
do it.
Yeah, Tom's such a, he's a Pied Piper. Come to TB12. So
I'll throw you the ball. If you
yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of pressure there.
I mean, I was
a lot of levels.
We did a behind the scenes thing up at TB12, and I remember the day we were there, the players were filing in and out, which, listen, every player has a right to do whatever they think is best for them. But,
it came close to a place of like undermining, you're saying?
That was a weird situation. Because it was literally a business that Tom was recruiting these guys into. So, anyway.
Who did you get?
That's the player report card.
Who did you talk to today, Alex? Didn't you have a thing?
Oh yeah, I just came from the hall. Dietrich Weiss was reading books to some kids, molding some young minds.
Nice.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Nice.
I know David Andrews had an event
he's up in Everett.
In God's country today.
Oh yeah? What's he doing up there?
Reading books.
Oh.
Not at my old elementary school though. I checked in with my sources.
Lafayette School.
Yeah, that's on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other side of the
That's
tracks.
where I played Little League.
Yeah.
Edith Street Park.
So Devin's on. Is this the same good football?
Devin's been on all week.
He's been on all week.
He's been on all
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched a good chunk of this yesterday because I'm trying to monitor the stuff that's going on there, and they had some fun. Ryan Leaf is pretty good. Very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Ryan Leaf.
He's done a transformation.
Yeah, he has.
Yep. Devin's announcement should be coming pretty soon, right? Whether or not he's coming back.
He
all
says
the rumors are saying free agency time.
He says by free agency he will make the decision.
So that's like 2 weeks?
I think it seems like it's pointing toward him coming back.
Yeah.
But that's not based on any information.
I go back and forth on it all the time because I watched Good Morning Football on Monday, woke up to watch it, and hearing him talk, it was like one sentence I'd be like, yeah, he's coming back. And then the next, he's like openly recruiting players to New England and kind of talking about New England like he's not going to be part of it. I don't know. It was really hard I don't think you can gauge or judge.
Yeah, he was funny yesterday too. He was making fun of Slater because Slater sort of first he said, we had this whole plan, we're gonna talk about it. Then all of a sudden he sends me a text. I'm back. And he was like, I thought we were going to talk about this. And then he's like, don't make me do this alone. He's putting all the pressure on me, so that was part of, I had that. Slater told me that story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He told me that story when he was in my office. He goes, what are you doing down here? He was making fun of me.
I wonder how many times a day he texts Devin.
Oh yeah. I think that's,
if that was me, if I was Matthew, I'd be so annoying. I'd be sending a text in hour increments probably.
Decide yet?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
What are you doing? We did talk about Slade Bolden last show, right?
Slade Bolden.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So he's trying out with the Patriots, former teammate of Mac. He's been in the league.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't been in the league?
Didn't make it.
Oh, he didn't get I know he wasn't drafted, but he wasn't a UDFA anywhere?
He was, and he got cut.
Oh, okay. So he was in the league. Yeah.
Okay.
He
One
didn't
foot
make
in,
it.
1 foot out.
Yeah.
He didn't make it, is my point.
He's on the cusp.
Yeah. But he graduated 2019 or left Alabama in 19.
No,
right?
I'm sure he graduated.
Yeah.
I don't think he came out early to not get drafted.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Web radio at Patriots.com is the email address. He ran a
the
5.
degree will always be there. It's okay.
Oh, stop
He's not considered to be fast, but I'm sure he ran like a 4.8 like everybody else.
Stop it. let's get to the phones. We'll get to the emails. Maybe give away a T-shirt or two. Later on.
On the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Couple of guys reaching out to me wondering, is there any way, and I know we will do this, but any way that we can set something up in the future that will allow regular listeners who don't listen live to get access to the T-shirts.
Yeah, go to Fanatics and buy it.
Okay, well, that's not really fair, is it?
We're just going to give out free T-shirts now?
Well, you know.
No, that we have to give them a way to win it.
We'll see.
But just
maybe
for
another
those not listening in real time.
We'll see.
Exactly. Maybe a different way to do it.
Okay, I don't want to make any promise. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out.
Because, as you know, Fred,
Yeah.
it's a small percentage that listen live.
I know. Well, not really.
It's a humongous audience.
Yeah.
And
Well-
it's only a fraction that get to listen
People
live.
have jobs, you know.
Most of our listeners, as Alex points out, are gainfully employed.
We'll figure out a way so that everybody who listens to this show will have access to T-shirts.
Yes, that was all I was getting.
Yep. All right. Let's get to the phones. 855-PATS-500.
It's all territorial with his T-shirts.
Webradio@patriots.com. I just don't want to make promises I can't keep. You know, I'm going to send out T-shirts to everybody.
Well,
you know?
do you
I
know?
don't care if you have a job. If you like this show and want a T-shirt, take a break.
That's right. Or
Wow,
listen
another
at
one.
work.
Another one over there.
Listen at work.
Hey, Patty calls in all the time. He's at work.
Yeah, we're safe for work, right?
Yeah, but he's drunk half the time. So he obviously doesn't care about what he's doing.
You can say.
It's lunchtime.
Who, Patty?
Is he?
Absolutely.
What if
drunk
his
all the
boss
time.
is listening to this?
We're
Patty, what do you do for a living?
I drink.
We're SFW.
Call and let us know what your work dynamic
He's like a Pepsi distributor.
And I think he works in water now. Oh no, he's with Pepsi. That's right. Yeah. Let's
Love
go.
Patty.
Let's go to Jared in North Carolina. What's up, Jared?
What's going on, everybody? Got about two questions. One, what are y'all thoughts about the Patriots calling New Orleans about Michael Thomas? I see that he had a bunch of restructuring for his contract, so I just wanted to know y'all
Did that
thoughts on
happen?
that. Or them reaching out to Houston and inquiring about John Mechie. And then the other question is...
Wait a minute. Wait, Jared.
Are these things that happen?
Yeah, first question first, Jared. Where are you hearing that they did these things?
Where they restructured his contract?
No. Where are you
the
hearing
Patriots reaching out to inquire about Mike Thomas? Is that something that happened?
No, I'm asking what are your thoughts on that?
I have no interest in Michael Thomas.
Why not?
Because he hasn't done anything in 3 years.
Has he been hurt?
Yeah.
Fourth time's a charm.
Yes.
Okay. But Mechie?
Why are they getting rid of Mechie?
I don't know. But
They drafted him last year. He has cancer, and they're just going to get rid of him?
Yeah, but Jared, is this just you wishful thinking, or did you hear that the Patriots had reached out to these guys?
No, this is just what if scenario.
Oh, okay. All right.
There was a writer who posed the scenario.
Okay.
The John Mechie scenario?
No, this is the Michael Thomas one. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
first
No, a
one I
lot of
looked
people
up.
have thrown that out there because, of course, he's somebody on someone else's team that the Patriots should just get. Like, that's like DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins. And,
well, this is that time of year
Jerry Jeudy.
where you're looking at, who could they possibly get? So that people are speculating.
Yeah, but I want to get a guy like Jerry Jeudy. I'm interested in. T. Higgins, obviously, I've been on that bandwagon. I'm interested. These are guys that are productive and in a situation where they may be able to be attained. Michael Thomas has been hurt and ineffective for 3 straight seasons.
I like what the GM of the Bengals said about T. Higgins.
Do you believe that?
Do you hear that? No, but I like what he said.
Yeah.
We got our guy.
You get your own.
Get your own.
Yeah.
But do you believe
That's
him?
I think as a GM, everything should be on the table.
I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe that he's not available this year.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean.
Now, that's happened in the past at the Combine. Like, I saw someone wrote today, I think Chad Graff in The Athletic wrote something about at the Combine a couple years ago, Minnesota said unequivocally that Steph Diggs was going nowhere. And within days, he was traded to Buffalo. So these guys don't always tell the truth. I believe Duke Tobin.
Yeah.
On Cincinnati.
I mean, if I was a GM, I'd make it clear to the rest of the league. I'm always answering my phone. Don't be insulted if I laugh in your face when you propose something, but I'll always answer the phone.
And Jared, the reason why I'm not overly interested in Mike Thomas is because I think he was a big physical receiver who was effective with his size. and not necessarily known as a speed burner, and that's how he was incredibly productive. He had like 140 catch seasons, like really off the charts production. But I think those guys, Fred, when they get hurt and they lose a step, have a hard time.
Okay.
And I think he's been constantly hurt. I don't think he works all that hard to get back after he's hurt, based on what's come out of New Orleans. And I'd rather have a better option that I'm banking on than a guy who hasn't done anything in 3 years.
What's your second question, Jared?
Second question is from a fan standpoint. What home game and away game do y'all think would be the best one to go to?
Well, I mean, if you like Vegas, that's going to be that's always going to be a destination on every team's
They have
schedule.
Kansas City at home this year, right?
Yeah,
And
that'll be a
would
good
top
one.
my list.
Yeah, at home Kansas City, probably away Vegas, or
Dallas.
if
Dallas
you have
on
your
the road,
passport
yeah.
and it's ready to go to Germany.
Look at this guy.
And check out the Patriots playing in Germany. But that's going to be a tough ticket, I
thanks,
think.
everybody.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough ticket. All right, thanks, Jared.
You could hook him up, Fred. You're big in Germany.
Again, here I am giving things out.
Yeah, you're big in Germany, though.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Speaking German a while ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Like just out of nowhere.
It
I was
took me
like,
by
I don't know what that
surprise.
means.
I asked him a question. He answered in German.
Right.
I'm practicing. I'm taking German lessons. Patty's in Agawam. What's up, Patty?
You had happy hour?
I will have you guys know that I am not drunk at work.
Thank you, Patty. I was trying to stand up for you.
You're
you
carbonated
Are
at
you
work.
at happy hour right now?
Yeah,
Tell the truth.
You're carbonated.
I'm actually driving to a bar right now, Paulie.
Good for you.
I was waiting for Patty to be like, actually, I've
That's
been
why you
sober
have
for
a strong
20 years.
ranking in the listener polls.
I'm not drunk at work. I go out to my car and drink.
Correct. Good job.
Hey, that's exactly what I just came to do, is come to my van.
Yeah.
No, listen,
Come to my van.
you
That's
know,
creepy.
On the weekend, during football season, when the game's on,
She puts the lotion
you know
on.
what time it is, but I'm all business when I'm here.
Okay.
Except for when I call in.
Patty, you know it's all love, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, I know it's all love. I wanted, it's funny because I had the idea of calling today just to say, Fred, I know I've said this before, but you truly are the king of all Patriots media.
Oh, is
You
that
should be
right?
The king of Boston sports
Yeah.
media.
Without question, it's worked for everybody.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Why?
It's gotten everybody
I love
a bigger and better
I love
gig.
the coverage. The combine show yesterday was awesome. Loved hearing and Mike and Evan out there, and you guys are the best. You know, I've been listening for about 12 years now. Anybody who's a huge Patriots fan that doesn't listen to the show, in my opinion, is an idiot, because you guys give it. You know, there's no hot takes. You guys tell it like it is, and you guys relate to the fans. I think probably better than any show that's
thank
out
you.
there.
That I appreciate. Yeah, I really do, because we want to relate. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
want to give you guys props, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on a player if you've checked them out. And I know Claire's ears are probably going to perk up, but
Tight end.
guy I like. You know, I was watching a little bit of highlights on him. Granted, they're just highlights, and he comes from a Belichick-friendly program. Sam Laporta, tight end from Iowa. Have you guys checked him out? And if you have, any opinions on him?
I'm gonna have to defer to Paul.
I've seen him play a little bit. I haven't checked any of these guys out yet. That's for Mike and Evan when they get back. But I'm vaguely familiar with him. He looks like he's another one of those. I mean, Iowa's been a tight end factory over the years. They've had a lot of tight ends. He looks like he's in that mold. Good size. I think he's known more as a blocker, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look that up. That might be wrong. But Iowa's had a good history of tight ends.
And like you said, Patty, there's a good pipeline, or at least a good relationship between Bill and Ferentz.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, all right, Patty, thanks for calling in. Let's go to Dallas. John's down there. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.
Hey, I got two things for you today, both on the number 14 overall pick. First of all, I don't think this is going to be a super popular opinion. I don't think his name's been brought up on the show, and pardon me if he has previously, but Brian Branch from Alabama.
Yeah. That's been brought up. Yeah, he's been mocked to the Patriots in a handful of spots.
Yeah, listed as a safety. They put him as slot corner at Alabama. They put him on slot receivers, tight ends. I think if Devin isn't to return, It's not going to be the sexiest pick. You know, we talk a lot of tackle, we talk a lot of wide receiver, but he seems like a Belichick guy. We know how close he is with Saban. I mean, what are your thoughts on us taking what is essentially, a not super valuable position, but a player that has a great upside like Brian Branch at 14?
Well, I mean, the way you sort of described it, I don't have any interest in it. But
the Patriots.
No, but like someone with some upside. Like I don't want someone with like. That's kind of a project to be picking at 14, but
the question is, could the Patriots overreach for a guy like that?
I don't think it's a reach.
Yeah.
Is my point. I think that a lot of people have him in the middle of the first round, and like I said, there's a lot of people that have mocked him to New England, which probably means it won't happen because usually the mock drafts are way off base with the Patriots. But I do think he's a guy that has some versatility from a program that obviously Bill is very familiar with and has a lot of respect for. So. I don't think it would be a silly pick. It would be a lot more sexy than tackle.
Yeah, but
sort of a hybrid defensive back. I think that it's around. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when Evan was here. It's around where Kyle Hamilton was taken for Baltimore, who's kind of that kind of a player, more of a safety than a corner, but guy with versatility back there. I think he was 14 or 15 to the Ravens last year. Had a decent rookie year, not great, but pretty good. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah.
And I think John's right. If Devin McCourty goes, I don't know what Jabril Peppers' future is going to be. I don't know how much longer Adrian Phillips is going to be around. That's a small guy who's taken a physical pounding, Adrian Phillips. So that's a position that might need to be reworked a little bit.
All right. Thanks, John. I'm wondering, we always hear about, so-and-so at this position, it's tough to figure out how he projects into the NFL. And, we heard a lot about that, like, in the past with receivers. But I'm wondering if it's becoming more difficult to project defensive players because of the way college is. Like, even the Alabama gives up 30 points a game now.
Right.
So, I'm wondering, because of the way the college game is, if it's getting tougher for scouts to figure out if this guy's actually got what it takes.
Well, and I think the other part of that is the good college defenses, like Georgia, the last 2 years.
The one.
No, but trying to figure out which guy is responsible for it.
Right.
And it's not the two guys that are rumored to go number one overall are both defensive players. Will Anderson and Carter that we already talked about.
Georgia.
One from Georgia, one from Alabama.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out on Georgia, as an example, last year they had a slew of highly regarded defensive players that all went early in the draft. How do you know which guy was the guy?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, we famously took Jermaine Cunningham that year from Florida. Remember that? And and then we did the same thing with Ron Brace from BC.
Yeah, Ron Brace less. I don't think we passed up on a better player from BC, did we? I mean,
I thought he was the other guy.
Well, Carlos Dunlap was the guy, in Florida, And I think Bill had made a comment behind the scenes to somebody that Urban Meyer had sort of steered him in the Jermaine Cunningham direction, which didn't work out.
Nope. Here's an interesting email. This is from Brian in Swansea. It's a career earnings game.
Career earnings.
Rank the following three players, listed alphabetically, in terms of career earnings. Josh Gordon, Jacoby Myers, and Cole Strange. Who do you think, where do they rank in terms of career earnings?
I would say Gordon, Myers, Strange.
Believe it or not, it's Strange, Gordon, Myers.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay. This is what the email says.
I mean, is he counting his 4-year contract?
I don't know. He says the answer is Cole Strange, 6.798, Josh Gordon, 6.502, and Jacoby Myers, 6.404, career earnings.
Hold, please.
I like this game better if it's like when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Who made the most?
Yeah. Well, Cole Strange is a first-round pick on that group,
right?
And he will be guaranteed more money.
Yeah.
I don't think he's already made more money, and that's the way I looked at it. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Okay.
Not to mention, a couple weeks and Jacoby's status definitely changes here.
Okay. While you're doing that, Paul, the next batch, rank them in terms of career earnings. Nick Foe.
So he's counting, he's counting the signing bonus, which I don't think he got all up front, but he might be right.
But
he might be counted. Right. His average salary is $3 million, which would be less than the other two.
Yeah, but he's talking career earnings, not average salary.
Yeah, but no. That's not what career earnings is 1 year for Cole Strange, not 4. Well, so I don't know what he got yet.
Yeah, but
my point.
But as long as he's doing, they're all the same. Like what their current.
So he got 1.5 to sign and 705 base salary.
Well, as long as they're all judged the same way, as long as all their future, what they're signed for, is added in. Well, then it's fair.
For Josh Gordon, future is 0, and for Jacoby Myers, future is 0.
There you go. So that's why this is good.
No.
Next one, Nick Folk.
I don't think that's right.
Paul just looked at me.
Nick Folk, Brian Hoyer, and Matthew Slater.
Nick Folk, Brian Hoyer, Matthew Slater. I would say Slater is. I'd say Hoyer, Slater, Folk.
Any guesses, Alex?
I would put Folk in the middle. This is kind of hard.
No, Paul had it. Hoyer, Slater,
Okay.
Folk.
That one's a little easier because they've both been in the league for a long time.
Hoyer's 32.6, Matt Slater 27.4, and Nick Folk 21.3.
Tell you, the goal there is, mama have your baby grow up to be a backup quarterback.
Yeah,
can make a very good living without having to put your body in harm's way very often.
And get all the benefits.
Few more questions. This is the one different. There are 10 current or former Patriots on the NFL's top 10 or top 100, I should say, career earnings list.
Ooh.
Name the 5 drafted by the Patriots. 10 current or former Patriots on the NFL's top 100 career earnings list. Name the 5 drafted by the Patriots that are on that
Chandler
list.
Jones.
That's one. Don't look at my screen.
I'm not looking at your screen. You think I could read that if I was looking?
Chandler Jones is one.
Chandler Jones.
He comes in 3rd on the list, by the way.
And this is all-time earnings? Devin McCourty?
Whatever career earnings list.
Devin McCourty.
He does come in at number 4.
This is only active, right?
No, they could be former. Yep.
But they're active in the
Former,
league.
but active
They're
in the
not
league.
all active in the league.
Okay.
Oh, then
Tom?
okay. I'm out.
Tom is one.
I'm out then.
Yeah, Tom is one.
I thought it was just active players.
No, these are current or former. Tom is 1. Jimmy Garoppolo is 2. Chandler Jones is 3. Devin McCourty is 4. Care to guess who's 5? And he's a former player.
Hightower?
Nope.
Gilmore?
Nope. Seymour.
Yeah. Gilmore not drafted by the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I forgot that little connection.
Now, there's 5 also who were Patriots but weren't drafted on the same list. So these are guys who did play with the Patriots, are on this list, but they weren't drafted by the Patriots. I'll just say it. Cam Newton, Darrelle Revis, Stephon Gilmore, Chris Long, and Brandon Cooks.
Mount Cooks.
Yeah. And then finally, what NFL player has earned the most money per games played? Minimum 4 years experience. What NFL player has earned the most money per games played with a minimum of 4 years experience?
I have absolutely no idea.
Jimmy Garoppolo. $1.6 million per game. So there you go.
It's good work if he can get it.
Yeah. There's a note here. Trey Lance has earned 3.1 per game, but he's only been in the league for 2 years. So there you go. That's a good,
good stuff.
Good money question. So
what's the matter? What are you looking at?
I don't know. You guys seem to be like out of it.
Well, you're running the show. Do you want me to argue with you? I could do that if you need me to.
I'm just depressed because I don't make as much money as any of those people.
Who are 3 people who've never been in my kitchen?
Yeah. Another email, then we'll go back to the phones. Tyler in Providence says, I love the Mike Reese episode of Pats from the Past, and it got me thinking about all the great hires Fred the Kingmaker has made over the years. Based on the success that has come out of PFW and PU, does Fred have more impressive coaching tree than Bill Belichick? I think the argument could be made that Fred should be elevated to GM as long as Belichick doesn't hear about Fred's Pro Bowl guard comment.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Also, my wife and I are expecting the birth of our first child in June.
Congrats.
And wondered if you all had any advice for a first-time parent.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
Start therapy now.
What your advice would be? Yeah.
No, you'll love it.
Get your sleep now.
It's the greatest job that you can have.
Yep. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, people I've hired. Well, I could also be criticized for letting them go.
Well, that's your job.
Yeah. Well, is it?
Yeah. You nurtured them. You nurtured them.
Well, and then you let them spread their wings.
Well, that's what we. But that's.
And I say them.
Yeah.
Not us.
But I just got here.
Because I'm still no. That's a me comment. I'm still here. Even Andy found a way to get out.
I think I'm like Bill with the draft. If you're here for a long time, you're going to have swings and misses.
I don't think you've had many misses.
Oh,
I can think of one.
I've had misses.
I can think of one, but I can't think of many.
I can think of several.
Not in the key spots. You miss in late round draft picks.
I don't know.
Like you take a flyer on talent sometimes in the late rounds.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't work out, but.
Yeah, I've had some.
Your first rounders are impeccable.
Yeah.
Except for one.
Okay. Let's go back to the Ace Ticket.
I know. I'm sitting here wanting
Ace
stories.
Ticket Hotline, 855-PATS-500. Willem and Philem. What's up, Willem?
I think he's gone.
Oh, I think I did that. Sorry. Mark's in Bolton. What's
Mark.
up? What's up, Mark?
I'm not smoking, Mark.
Hey. Well, not disregarding the human tragedy of Jalen Carter and the charges, the Pats are adversely affected by this, and I think we're already right on the edge at 14. I think the top three tackles are likely gone by 13 with the Jets and the Titans right before us. If there's a top receiver, and there isn't really one yet until they run, the Texans could take that guy at 10. And as I've sort of mentioned before, if I don't think one of the top four quarterbacks are there at 14, I don't think we get to trade back. So that means we actually might have to make that pick at 14. And I always want the high-priced pick or the high picks to be a high-cost pick, like, defensive end, cornerback. So, that being said, what are we thinking as far as top cornerback or top defensive end? Well, either of those, first of all, and some names at cornerback.
Yeah, I'm watching one right now. Witherspoon from Illinois is one of the highest-rated corners. I think he's got good physicality, good size. I kind of like Joey Porter too. And I don't know, like I don't do the research yet exactly where these guys are all supposed to go. And I know that the mock drafts and whatnot. They have that stuff pegged a little bit more. I miss the days of Will McDonough, who actually had an idea of what the teams were going to do.
And Rich Gosselin.
Yeah.
Well, he'd call. He knew all the GMs, and he'd call them all.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So,
literally.
That to me is what a mock draft is, not like throwing darts at a
Yeah,
at a
I haven't
wall.
received my guides yet.
No, Fred's out of the loop. But, a corner, Mark, I wouldn't worry yet about Jalen Carter. I'm not sure yet that that's going to adversely affect anybody. But it could. You're right. You're right to worry about it. But I just think it's a little early to be overly concerned because, some of this information could come out and teams could be, if he's going to go one overall, I just can't imagine he's going to slip beyond the top 10.
Yeah.
And another thing, it does wonder if a top defensive end, because obviously they're one of the most expensive players. And if you can get them for 5 years, that's an amazing thing. If one drops, that could be interesting. But the second thing I really want to touch on is, the Pats are like the 31st in cash outlay. And I really want to see us – I'm sorry?
No one said anything.
No, he was probably just anticipating you really snapping back at that comment.
I'd like to see us change how we do business,
What?
as far as free agents are concerned, by – more cash up front, and that also helps with cap-friendly contracts. So, I think it's really, really important, and I'm hoping that this new Patriots report by the players doesn't affect that.
One of the categories wasn't, paying It had nothing to do with salary. So
No,
I don't
but,
know. I don't know where the Patriots would come if they had a category
I don't
addressing
think we need
that.
to see that.
Yeah.
But my point is that I think I think we need to change our whole sort of business model of how we attack things. If free agent, I'd love to see Jawan Taylor. I'd love to see Tremaine Edmonds.
Well, I
But
think
you're gonna
all the
get
teams
'em.
have to, because that's the thing now. It's like I remember where like very little of contracts were guaranteed. Now most contracts, like over half the contract is guaranteed. That's a big change from where it used to be. And then you get Deshaun Watson, where almost the whole thing was guaranteed,
No, the whole thing.
The whole thing? Yeah. So it is changing, and, I think the Patriots will have to adapt if they want to compete.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Yep. Thanks, Mark.
I think it's like a changing economic landscape in the league that has to do with individual positions, but more importantly, the ever-growing cap.
Yeah.
I don't think the cap is really an impediment anymore the way it was the first time around when the Patriots dynasty first started.
Willem is in Philem. Willem, sorry about that. I think I hit the wrong button, but you're back.
Fat finger.
That's okay. Yes, sir. It's okay, Fred. No worries. How's everybody doing?
Doing okay.
Okay. Two questions. For Paul, so there's a prospect that's basically he's falling down the draft basically, and I don't know if you heard of him. He's I think he's deep tackle or left end. The name, I might be saying it wrong. His name is Brian Breesy from Clemson. He's really good, and I know he's not one of our top needs though, because our three top needs are corner, wide receiver, and offensive line. But
someone I read today had him as a possibility at 14. Someone I don't remember who. So I like to credit the people when I read the stuff, but I don't remember where I read that. But I saw somebody bring him up. I personally don't know a lot about him. He's not. It's funny. I have my Clemson sweatshirt on today, and I don't know a lot about the Clemson defensive lineman.
But when if you get some time, you get a chance. Can you just look at some film, man? He's really good, Paul. He really. I mean, I would tell Evan, but Evan's like he's not there. So you know what I mean.
Right. Plus, Evan would tell you you're wrong.
Of course he would. You know what I mean? Because you know it all. But one more question, and that's it. Well, not so much a question. It's basically off of what the last caller just said. Like, I hope the Patriots really do, like, I ain't saying be bankrupt or anything, but spend the money. Get these, like, Tremaine Evans or Michael Lynch, or trade for Jerry Jeudy. Just you got to give it the times now. I mean, your back is against the wall now. You see what it is now.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that. And y'all take care and y'all have a good one.
All right. Thanks, William. I think that's the sentiment of a lot of fans that I hear on
Me too.
Paul's stations.
That's one that I think that we agree on. I think that's the sentiment that you hear a lot. But I've heard that sentiment a lot for 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, fans always want the splash. They want the headline maker in free agency.
And then the media tells them you have to worry about the cap. Cool them off a little bit.
Joel in San Antonio, as always, really enjoy each and every show, especially the off-season ones where we can talk about pretty much anything. Love the soup talk from Tuesday. So there's regular soup, there's chowder, which I guess is hearty and thick soup. Then there's bisque, which I guess is kind of like a chowder, but not that hearty. There's also onion bisque, by the way. It's kind of like a puree soup. And then there's gazpacho, which is a cold tomato soup. However, where I come from in Puerto Rico, gazpacho is not a soup. Gazpacho is a cold salad, definitely not a soup, made of salt, cod, avocado, tomato, onion, and some other local vegetables. Okay, so why are we...
I keep forgetting we're on camera. I just made a face. Cod.
I think that sounds bomb.
Yeah. It's just interesting that different countries or regions use the same word to name two completely different things. Thanks for your time. That's Joel in San Antonio. Okay, well, thank you.
Alex, what are your thoughts on
the
soup?
soup talk. Yeah. I love soup. If it gets warm out, I have soup today for lunch.
Yeah.
I make a big pot of soup, or my mom makes me a big pot of soup. I will eat it all week.
Yeah. Have you ever had lobster bisque?
Yes.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I love it. Yeah. Russell in Arkansas says, on the topic of receivers, Everyone has talked about adding either Hopkins or Higgins in the offseason, but what are your thoughts on adding a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, or DJ Shark? All potential free agents and definite upgrades over Aguilar and maybe Parker. Also, did you see the report from something named James Stewart that the Pats would be looking to trade for Deebo Samuel? I don't know why the Niners would, but sign me up anyway.
Yeah, the Samuel thing is a different thing. I kind of disagree on the other three guys. I think that's more of what you have. Secondary P. Yeah. I would rather have Jacoby Myers than Juju Smith-Schuster.
I don't want Juju anywhere near this building, if I'm being
Hardman
honest.
A speedster?
Hardman is a gadget guy.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, I guess out of those three, I would take a flyer on him more than the other two. Chark is a guy who I really wanted him last year. Or it might have been 2 years ago. But he's just really – he doesn't stay healthy. He can't really establish himself as a next-level guy. I think he is what he is. I think he's like a 2/3. And I think Jacoby Myers is a better player than Juju. But I'm really curious as to why we can't sign Juju Smith-Schuster from Alex.
I think that he's not, like you just said, not really better than Jacoby, but way more problematic. He's like TikTok boy. Like, look at the drama he's causing off the field. That wouldn't fly here. Him tweeting at A.J. Brown and making me, like, I don't know. I just don't want that energy anywhere near me.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a reason for me. That's be our first fight. That wouldn't.
All right, Paul likes the TikTok boy.
No, I don't. Well, maybe it's because I don't watch TikTok, so he doesn't bother me. He plays really hard. I think he competes when he's on the field. That's all I care about is what he does in football. I had a guy on our team last year that was tweeting about couldn't wait to go home while they were on a trip. So, like, I'd rather have a guy who's maybe having some fun, sometimes crossing the line, but playing really hard, than a guy who's just really looking forward to how fast can we get out of here so I can go home. That's the way I look at it. Now, Smith-Schuster had like 900 yards last year for Kansas City. So he's not a stiff. But I like Myers better. I think he's younger. I think, not that much younger, but I think he's younger and already has a relationship with Mac Jones.
Can you have both? Can you keep Myers?
If you want to be average, yeah.
Why?
Because you're just adding more average receivers. I like Myers because he works with Mac Jones.
I mean, you're getting rid of maybe Aguilar, for example.
Yeah, I don't think that's really much of a change.
All right.
Is my point. Yeah, Aguilar didn't have a lot of...
That's my point, is it's not a big enough upgrade to bring his downside.
Yeah, Aguilar didn't have a lot of production, but that's the way I look at him, is like he's a 2/3, just like those guys. Bourne, Aguilar, Parker, they're all the same to me.
Mike in L.A., which beat writer do you believe usually nails the Patriots draft picks? We need to start having these writers on a big board with their stats next to them.
Nobody.
Yeah,
nobody nails anybody's draft picks in the regular media. There's like a Daniel Jeremiah is really good at identifying the players and whatnot, but in terms of like mock drafts, no one's really good at it.
And they're all just copying each other's same names. Maybe there's a little shift, but
yeah, I mean they're looking at
we had a good
Alabama
run last
connection or this connection, and they're just it's nobody has any intel like we talked about earlier. Rich Gosselin and Will McDonough had intel. They actually talked to people, and they had.
Yeah, I think Bob McGinn is supposedly really good in Green Bay.
Yeah,
at that kind of stuff. But Mike and I actually had a decent first round mock last year.
Yeah,
where we had pretty much, I think we had something like 28 out of the 32 guys that went in the first round, and we had a significant amount of hits. But
it was a blind squirrel mock draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now we've done that. I had Ty Warren, we had Chandler Jones, we had Nate Solder. I didn't have him. I think Andy had him. There's been a handful of hits that we had, but it's like Fred said. It's just, like you guys just talked about, it's all the same names, and then you happen to get lucky and get the right one that the Patriots end up picking.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a break. Food's here. When we come back, more calls and emails here on Patriots Unfiltered.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots.
Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Bass Pro Shops, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including Six String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar. Watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com.
How did Verizon build the fastest 5G in the world? We started by building it right with 5G Ultra Wideband. Then we gave it massive capacity and near zero lag. And it's not just fast, it's 25 times faster than today's 4G networks. This is 5G built right from the network more people rely on, only on Verizon. 5G Ultra Wideband available only in parts of select cities. Global claim based on open signal independent analysis. 25 times analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence dated Q2 2020.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes.
Oh no.
Replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some people are never content with simply being good. Not when they can be great. But it takes a big step to get there. In fact, it takes a leap of faith, a belief in what you're striving toward, and a willingness to make the commitment, day in and day out, to something bigger than yourself. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
There's no season better than football season, and there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week, so head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible!
No way! As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance!
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots.
Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Bass Pro Shops, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including Six String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar. Watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com.
How did Verizon build the fastest 5G in the world? We started by building it right with 5G ultra wideband. Then we gave it massive capacity and near zero lag. And it's not just fast, it's 25 times faster than today's 4G networks. This is 5G built right from the network more people rely on, only on Verizon. 5G ultra wideband available only in parts of select cities. Global claim based on open signal independent analysis. 25 times analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q2 2020.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
Oh no.
replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some people are never content with simply being good. Not when they can be great. But it takes a big step to get there. In fact, it takes a leap of faith, a belief in what you're striving toward, and a willingness to make the commitment, day in and day out, to something bigger than yourself. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
There's no season better than football season, and there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week, so head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible!
No way! As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance!
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
And now, great moments in
Patriots Unfiltered.
history.
This is at St. Thomas the Apostle School in New Jersey. Ronald Robinson.
Good Catholic school.
He came back to class.
Ronald Robinson.
Was it a fight or were you being
No, what
bullied?
happens was there was always two groups. One group played keep away, and then the other group would play football.
Probably shouldn't say
Yeah,
it.
one group was play football. So one time I was in the group playing keep away, and Ronald Robinson in the football said, "Oh, you guys are pussies playing that game."
I guess we're just going to say everything today.
So then
it's realism.
So then a couple weeks ago, it was opposite. We were the ones playing football, and they were playing keep away. And I said to them, "Oh, who's the pussy now?" So Ronald Robinson, who was tall at that time but thin, came. We're like, chest to chest. He's like, "Say that again." I'm like, "Who's the pussy now?" and he punched me in the jaw. And I remember, I can remember this like it was yesterday. I remember thinking,
Obviously.
boy, you know what? That didn't really hurt that much. And if I attacked
So he was a pussy. Wait, you just because he said it twice doesn't mean he was okay.
And I was thinking to myself, if I attacked him right now, and I kept myself from doing it, and I shouldn't have. I did the same thing to Richie Campanella. I dared him to say something, and he did it. And I socked him in the stomach and doubled him over.
That's another great moment from
I tell you, those Catholic schools, they're rough.
Was this
rough.
Patriots Unfiltered or The Sopranos?
Oh, yeah. No, it was rough. We literally, our recess was in a parking lot. So we were playing like tackle football on tar, It was rough in our dress shoes, no less, So you come home with holes in your knee. What happened?
Got curb stomped at recess.
Spent good money for this uniform. Well, that's the problem. We have to wear the same damn thing every day. All right. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. Web radio at Patriots.com is the email address. It's all on the table today. Obviously, Combine is front and center. But we're talking about anything you want. Let's see. What does Todd in North Carolina want to talk about? What's up, Todd?
I'm going to, as a very long-time listener, I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Perillo. You've had, I think, that I can count one miss, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you don't know from what all the people. I mean, hundreds have passed through these halls.
That's why I say, Fred, a couple of seventh-round picks, couple undrafted free agents didn't work out. I mean, no quality acquisitions by you that didn't work.
I'm a little bit more, critical of myself. I've had some misses, but I'm proud of those that I didn't, like the Mike Reeses and. The Mike Reeses.
Well, Big Head. You got to be proud of Big Head. He overcame a lot of challenges to get where he is. Those little T-Rex arms, that attitude.
He's very, very hurtful.
Anyway, I've been thinking about the draft and everything, and I love the way everybody predicts, we should do this, and then they go, wow, we shouldn't. We should not. Don't worry about the draft. We need to trade for all this. And we really just don't know. I don't know who said it, but somebody said you can't predict what a team's going to do, and you really can't predict what Bill's going to do. Like, nobody saw Strange in the first round last year. So I think the only thing that the fans really can do is just sit down and wait, right? And not irritate, don't irritate Perillo, because he still gets grouchy even though it's off season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And all you got to do is hope. And I think, we've identified the needs, and I think we'll just wait and see. And we get a tackle, a receiver, we're good to go.
Yeah. Listen.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks. I mean, the way the league is these days, it's all about the offense. Can this offense improve? I don't care how they do it. I don't care if they do it through the draft, trade, free agency, but they've got to get with it. Again, we heard, and I forget the player or players at the end of this season, I think just recently at the Combine, talking about the Patriots offense, how there wasn't anyone that you really had to worry about or anything.
Hold, please. I'll get you the quote.
Yeah, anything they were doing that was, something that you couldn't adjust to very quickly. I'm tired of hearing that because we went 20 years with that not being the case, that Patriots stressed defenses. They always had answers. They were an adjustment, and that's not the case. And, I don't really need anyone to say it. We can see it. We can see it, but
this is the quote.
It hurts
because this is in line with Fred's favorite, mantra about how easy the Patriots are to defend, and I always argue with him. It's because they don't have players that win matchups. Mike Giardi says a few Patriots gathered notes from the Combine. Talked to one DC who competed against the Pats this year. He told me there, quote, wasn't a matchup we feared, end quote. Asked him what that allowed his defense to do, quote, everything. There was nothing we had to take off the table. Another quote, there was a simplicity to the scheme, and while there are plenty of good players there, he really likes Myers. We felt like we could solve any problems they presented quickly.
Yeah.
So coaching and players.
Yeah.
From a quarterback coach I spoke with, he noted that they viewed Josh Uche as a, quote, problem, and added that he finds it hard to envision the Patriots secondary without Devin McCourty. He can still play, quote, said the quarterback coach.
Yep.
Added that they viewed the Patriots cornerbacks as competitive but not outstanding.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
So there are problems on both sides of the ball, but specifically there were problems on offense.
Yeah.
And that's not any earth-shattering news, but when you hear quotes like that from coaches that competed against your team, there's a lot of work to do.
There's a lot.
I think it's more than adding a tackle and a receiver.
Yep.
That everything was on the table. Just really hurts. Really stings.
But like like what you've been banging the table for, Paul, is better players, and you get better players, and then you can have better schemes.
Mm-hmm.
And conversely, if you have better coaching / schemes, you can make the players you have better.
Yeah. I would argue that most of the stuff that they've done that works has been schemed up.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to the guys talking Kansas City, Travis Kelce says Andy Reid does it all.
Yeah.
He schemes me open all the time.
Well, and look at what they did in the Super Bowl with the 2 touchdowns that they had.
Exactly.
On opposite sides of the field. Same play, basically, different player, but they schemed that guy wide open against a really good defense.
Yeah.
So it's undeniable what you need to do to win in this league. Ethan in Indiana, I wanted to give my 2 cents on Mac Jones, as I think you guys can be too critical of him, especially when it comes to his mobility in the pocket. There were plenty of
Not on this show.
Yeah, there were plenty of teams throughout the season that he was able to move around in the pocket and make a great throw down the field, either on the run or off balance. A few games I remember are Steelers, Cardinals, Bengals, where he had really good pocket awareness. I think with a better OC and better protection planning, this is one of his underrated traits. I can see him excelling and proving that he isn't just a statue in the pocket. I don't think that's one of the criticisms.
Oh, it's criticism for me, and I would argue, show me the plays that you're talking about.
No, he's had some really good plays where he's avoided pressure.
That's not what he said. He said throwing on the run and making plays downfield outside the pocket. I would argue, show me those plays.
Okay. All right.
I would argue that's where the interceptions come from.
When he's off platform?
Correct.
Let's see. Nat in Santa Cruz, which of the Unfiltered hosts do you think gets the most airtime speaking? Paul, Mike, Fred, Scott from Wellesley, or Mark from Bolton?
You left out the answer.
Evan.
Yeah.
You left out the answer.
I think he's just basing it on today. Seriously, though, PU should put a limit on whiny callers. It'll be like the pitch clock in baseball.
Is there another kind?
Yeah. And then he says, except replace P with B. I see what you did there. The pitch clock instead of the pitch clock. Listen, it's a podcast. We have one commercial break. If sometimes we let our callers go a little longer than you would hear.
Sometimes I got to refresh my
Diet
radio.
Pepsi. It's fine.
Other guys talk.
When you hear me start like mumbling and like, okay, then you know that I'm trying to wrap it up.
Fred will have his button on the hang up, or his finger on the hang up button for like the last 30 seconds of a call.
Let's see. Tim, our friend, I don't think he's with Duncan anymore. He's with another company. But he says, would you prefer DeAndre Hopkins or Brandon Cooks? Realizing that it would probably take more for Hopkins, like a second-round pick or a third or fourth for Cooks. So
second-round pick for Hopkins.
So you have to give up less for Cooks than Hopkins. Who do you take?
Hopkins,
I
probably.
still want Hopkins.
But I would like to. This is going to sound silly. Both of those guys would be upgrades. They're both talented players. Can we get someone younger?
I know. Yeah. Love the combine coverage with Evan and Mike. What did you think of the Duncan Super Bowl commercial? Oh, with
J-Lo?
Yeah, that was good.
Was anybody else in that commercial? I'm not aware.
Ben Affleck.
Oh, no, I didn't see him.
Oh, because Paul's a big
J-Lo fan.
J-Lo
She's a big Paul fan, too.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She listens.
She sang Right to Me.
Yeah.
And the post-game party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you there?
No.
I wasn't there. I'm
Then
just
what are you
saying
shaking
you're
your
so
head
lucky.
at? What are you shaking your head at?
I'm saying how you're so lucky.
I was like,
it would be even luckier if it happened.
I was like 5 feet away from her once. She smelled lovely.
Really?
Lovely.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna shatter my image.
No, never. She was so sweet.
She is a smoker, so
I thought you were going to
I
say
worried
something
that
like
might
she
have
smelled like the Mystic
stale
River
smoke.
or something.
Oh.
You know?
I'm smelling it now.
What do you think she smells like? Look at her.
I don't know. Like if it was after a set, she could be all sweaty and everything.
It was when it was when she was with A-Rod.
A little musty.
And A-Rod was doing, was it Monday night or Sunday night baseball? I forget. Whatever. She would travel with him to every
I remember that.
road city, and I was just in the dugout, or no, the locker room one day, and J-Lo was just like in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Big fan.
Yeah. Let's see. Ray in Pennsylvania. No YouTube stream today? No, we had some technical problems. Sorry about that. Also, from Tuesday's show, there used to be a great moment in PFW history where Andy and Fred fought about lobster bisque, and Fred dropped the link. Well, you don't know from Soup.
You don't know from Soup.
Classic. Anyway, can't wait to
I
sport
recall.
my first run PU shirt. Yeah, you were one of the winners. Yeah, so let's do one.
Yeah.
Let's give away a T-shirt right now. So the first person who emails to webradio@patriots.com the correct answer will win a T-shirt. Email your home address so Matt can send it out. Let's see. Here's one. What did Wes Welker once call Matt Castle on this show? What did Wes Welker once call Matt Castle while he was a guest on this show? So the email is opened up, webradio@patriots.com. First person who has the correct answer to that question will win a T-shirt. So
That's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Than most of the ones we had, but a regular listener would know that.
Okay. I see some coming in already, and so far no correct answers. So, all right.
Post-game party.
Paul is showing me photos of J-Lo on his phone right now.
It's like they keep telling me, you don't have enough storage space, you can't back up your phone. I don't care. Those aren't going anywhere.
He keeps buying the upgraded data plans.
No, I
just
haven't
so
been
he
able to
can
back up
preserve
my
those.
phone for a while, so sooner or later I'm going to lose everything.
So we'll do this one until 125. 125. So you got
and you don't need to have exactly the right words that Matt Castle Wes Welker used to describe Matt Castle, but you get us
Just
in the
the
ball.
gist.
Yeah, get us in the ballpark.
And no, Scott from UK, he didn't call him gay.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that's not what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
We had two of those, huh?
Yeah.
No, well, see, here's the thing. Save those emails.
Yeah.
Because if we don't get the right answer on a technicality, I'd be because in the same conversation, he used that word. Welker used that word because you and Andy set me up, if you remember. And you said, what would you say if you were described as a nice little player? And Wes said, nice little player? I don't know. It's kind of, and to use that
Yeah,
term.
but that wasn't about Matt Castle.
That was about himself.
Right.
That was about himself.
Right.
And that's why if no one gets the Matt Castle reference, I'd be willing to give it to the first person who used that word that we don't use that anymore.
Yes.
I know, that must have been an old show.
Well, it was like 08.
Calvin writes in, quick appreciation post for Evan. What a great hire. Used to listen to him on his Clintus YouTube stuff. If I were a Pats front office guy, what?
Clintus. CLNS.
What?
I've never heard CLNS pronounced Clintus before.
Because no one's ever
And I
done it
just
for
saw
obvious
Maddie.
reasons.
Maddie cracking up just made me crack up.
If I was a front office guy, I would hire him as some type of roster consultant. No joke. One guy that I wondered about for him, Jake Bobo, I think would be a Travis Kelce type in the passing game, even though he's definitely not a tight end. I'm out on Jacoby too. Love him. It's just not good for either side if he's here at 15 to 20 million. You're gonna have to pay somebody.
Why?
Yeah.
Like I'm not arguing with you, but why is it not good? If you don't think he's a good player, fine.
Yeah. But
that's what whoever you get to replace him,
yeah,
is going to make that.
See, I'm not looking at paying Jacoby Myers $15-16 million prohibitive of getting anybody else. I think you can do that and
But I think that people, a lot of people around here, and this is not everybody. This is not one of those everybody things. But a lot of people, and we still get the questions. It's my week for the mailbag. What guy do you think we can get on a short-term prove-it-to-me deal? Fill in the blank for position. Like, why are we looking for that?
Yeah.
Why are we not just looking for like the Mike Thomas thing? Why are we looking for Mike Thomas? Because he's restructured his contract several times, and you can get him on the cheap.
Right.
I want a guy who's Justin Jefferson. And I don't care if I have to pay him. I want a talented guy who's commands a lot of money, and you're willing to give a lot of money
and
to.
He's good.
Now, if you think Jacoby Myers isn't that good, I'm not going to argue with you. But I'm just telling you, whatever you get to replace Jacoby Myers is going to make that amount of money if you're getting a similar player. Now, if you want to downgrade and get a guy on the cheap, you'll get a guy on the cheap. You can get a guy for $6 million and get nothing out of it.
Yep. Do we have a correct answer, Matt? No. Okay, so it's closed.
Yeah. Hold on to those.
Yep.
So, give it to the first guy who used that word that we don't use anymore.
So the correct answer
dance around that one, Alex.
is Wes Welker called Matt Castle a tall, skinny bench warmer.
Right.
So
the first person to use that word was Matt in California.
So you should send it to him.
California at that.
Because he's right. That's that conversation. That's exactly how it started. Fred and Andy couldn't wait for Wes to sit down so they could make fun of me because I was very opposed to the Wes Welker signing. Again, we're open books here. I'll tell you when I miss.
And they let Wes know.
Of course they had to tell him right away, Alex. They had to get it out right away.
Like looking a man in the eyes that has all the dirt.
I think he was sitting right where you are, and I go, oh yeah, every once in a while you miss.
Yeah,
I did one of those, and he was great.
But
It's
not like you didn't still think he wasn't good at the time.
That's what I said.
Right.
I said every once in a while you miss. What are you going to do? Right. And he laughed. Like he was. I wouldn't say that we were all like really close, like because the players are the players and we're us.
There's
but
respect.
At the time, we used to have more interaction with the players at the time, and
it's got progressively worse.
I think he knew us well enough to know like that's kind of funny that he said that, and he's like, I don't know, it's kind of that word, which I'm not really sure why you can't say, but
when Gerard Mayo was on the show, he called me a racist. He was only kidding, but
I remember that.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Remember Richard Seymour was talking about the. He was talking about his contract negotiations. Is like we're going to get the stimulus package. It was when like the big the Bush stimulus package was going in. He was like, we're looking for the stimulus package.
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
All right. So from the Combine, which is going on right now, as you know. Deuce is calling in. Deuce, what's up?
Deuce from the scooter.
What is up, guys?
Hey.
We are here. We are grinding. I don't know what day it is, or I've just taught they just bring football players out and we talk to. I don't know. I'm losing my mind here. No, it's great.
Yeah. So we saw your wrap up from yesterday. The big news, of course, is the kid from Georgia. But it sounds like that might work, out for him. It won't be, but I don't know. What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, I think that's the big question right now. I mean, I know a lot of people talking about Todd McShay having the info ahead of time and all that kind of stuff going on. But I think we talked about it, Evan and I. There's certainly an impact if he doesn't go in the top 14 picks, 13 picks before the Patriots, as everyone kind of expects them to. But I would just say, overall today, we got to look at all these cornerbacks. And, we've talked about it plenty, the need at that position. And there are just, so many guys that you really like. I thought Joey Porter Jr. did an outstanding job today. It got directly asked about, the Patriots and, said, I think my dad would love me to go to an organization like that that's well run. So, was also asked about the Ravens, had a similar answer. I'd be blessed to end up anywhere. Just really impressed with him and just overall the depth of this cornerback group. It feels like they need to get at least a couple of these guys in the first 2 days. And I think it really could, overhaul that position group with some guys that are big, physical, and, can play they don't really have those body types right now on the roster.
So you're thinking they should pick at least two cornerbacks in the first 3 rounds? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't be against it.
Okay.
There's a lot of really good guys here, a lot of physical, big guys. You talk about a need. I mean, of course, I'll probably be singing a different story, Fred, tomorrow when I see the wide receivers.
Right.
And then I'll sing another story when I see the offensive tackles on Saturday.
Right. Recency bias.
What about
Right.
what about Witherspoon, Mike? Did you get to see him today?
Interesting, Paul. So we're waiting on him, and they had told us, for the last group, guys are usually coming from medical, so just, be prepared for a little bit of a delay. And then finally somebody came out and said he is getting an MRI and will have to go sometime later. So, of the top three guys, Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter Jr., and him, a little bit of a question mark now there with Witherspoon, who's just, super physical guy, lighting people up all over the place.
That's interesting. Anything else of note? I know GMs, they wrapped up yesterday. But, anybody walking around the halls that you saw that of note, anybody interesting from other teams or.
It was fun. I finally, I have a friend in common with Rich Eisen, so I got to finally meet him. It's a personal thing, but that was cool. He's
Paul's
very nice
brother-in-law, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Not my brother-in-law. He's my friend's brother-in-law.
Oh, Paul's friend's brother-in-law.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But he was very nice. Evan and I recorded, the wrap-up podcast. We actually talked to Mike Rodak and got about 10 minutes with him, just talking about Bill O'Brien and, the offense and some of the Alabama prospects as well. Otherwise, we saw special teams guys. I know this is probably where Paul goes to get a Pepsi. But Jake Moody, the guy from Michigan who won MVP at the Shrine Bowl. Just a lot of guys. You can't help but overhear as you're walking around, guys that were at the Shrine Bowl.
Half our coaches there are special teamers, so that's you guys should be paying attention to those guys. Any scuttlebutt there on that, Mike? Yeah, I know that there's a lot of Patriots, media there. Any scuttlebutt as to the whereabouts of the Patriots coaches, why they've decided to do it the way they've done it?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I definitely been catching up with, talking a little bit with Andrew Callahan, Mark Daniels. Those guys are all out here. It's weird because we keep kind of like getting bits and pieces of it, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "Oh, the Greg Hill show tweeted this," and "Oh, now it's confirmed that Bill isn't there." So hasn't really been a topic that has been talked about while we're trying to like hustle and.
Yeah, Curtis screwed something up this morning from the Greg Hill show. He got confirmation from Stacy that Bill wasn't there, and he misread the text, and said that he was. Then he corrected himself shortly thereafter.
Where in the world is Waldo? Where's Bill?
Right. So, I think someone said it's the first time that Bill's not gone. I don't think that's accurate. I think there have been other times that he hasn't gone, but I do find it interesting that he's not there, and I'm not really sure why. And I always find it interesting when people fall all over themselves to say why it's not a big deal that they're not there. Somehow they did it wrong all those years they won the title by going. But I just think it's interesting that reportedly there are only 4 Patriots coaches there. I think it's Troy, Cam Acord, Joe Houston, and Pellegrino. I think those 4 guys are the only 4 coaches. Now, there's scouts there and personnel people, and they have access to all the interviews and whatnot that they're doing. I don't think it's a huge deal.
Yeah, no, and I was talking a little bit about Evan, and I mean, just other than Adrian Clem, it's Pellegrino, cornerback, big need, good class. Troy Brown, wide receivers, big need. Look, I'm with you guys just as far as. Everybody's here. Everybody's walking around. There's, Kevin O'Connell yesterday sitting right next to us doing a radio hit with the Vikings. So, it is a little bit weird not to see, the whole contingent here. But, really at this point, the whole party is kind of moved over to the stadium where the testing will begin this afternoon with the defensive linemen and linebackers. So it's kind of clearing out a little bit here at the convention center.
So a little inside baseball while we're on the air. Is there anything that we aren't doing that we should be doing from a content standpoint? Are other teams like doing radio, and is it really good, or like what, like anything that you want to,
I think I was just talking to Bradley about that here, and certainly a lot of the teams here have like permanent radio setups, and they are just here doing radio. They're not really talking to any of the prospects. They're just doing radio shows, and every guest that they can grab is coming on their shows. So I don't know.
Who are the guests? Like guests from other teams?
just NFL Network people,
media talking to media.
Seeing,
yeah,
GMs, yeah, media on media mostly, but as I said to Evan, and we're certainly recording, and we've had a guest. We've been trying to get some guests here, but otherwise, I mean, our focus is also getting to know these guys and writing about them, and over the next 2 months when we're here, I say, hey, now I've listened to Joey Porter Jr. talk. I feel like I kind of have a better sense of him. So, I see a lot of value in that. But otherwise, I've just it's been pretty cool to see a lot of the reaction to some of the content we've been churning out. I don't know if you saw the behind-the-scenes video that we put together with me riding a scooter, but that was a lot of fun.
I haven't seen that.
That's why I said Mike from the scooter calling in.
Did that just go up, or when did
God, Fred, you haven't? You got to watch it.
Okay, I will.
The special appearance of NFL Network's Mike Giardi.
Okay. All right.
I think we were going to try to air it during the video show, but apparently, that's not happening.
Okay,
so,
I can't wait to see that.
I look forward to your thoughts.
Okay, that's on Patriots.
I look forward to your thoughts.
That's on Patriots.com now?
It's definitely up on YouTube, Patriots YouTube. So if you want to see, a little behind the scenes, a little, what's it really like here, 2 minutes with me, I think it's pretty fun.
And food, any food updates? Any place you've eaten that?
All right, so let's get into the real stuff here because we're obviously we're been here 4 days, so team can't eat steak for every meal. That's me. Pooping out a little bit. We had a team trip just to walk to Chipotle. I mean, even Chipotle now sounds like a break from prime rib every night. But we had half our team go back, and I don't want to give too much away, but I was a nice guy. We have some car issues here, so and a lot of equipment. So hey, somebody's got to drive half the team to the airport at 7 a.m. this morning. Big Deuce stepped up, but one of the members of the team, and I'm not going to say who, probably not who you think, couldn't get him or her on the phone. Couldn't knock on his door. They're not picking up the door. Had to get a wellness check via the hotel to break them in, at which point they found somebody face down on their bed in their full clothes.
Evan! No, I know who it was. It's the last person you would ever think.
Oh, boy.
That's accurate. The last person you would ever think. It all worked out fine. Everyone got to the airport and got back on the way. But a little bit of drama there for Team Patriots content team.
Okay.
Remember that was me, Matt, in Philadelphia?
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we'll deal with that later.
I was nervous for you, Paul.
All right, Deuce. Well, keep up the great work. The world is watching.
Hey, mixing a vegetable down there, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I
have plenty of time for vegetables when you come home.
Does navy bean soup count?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know Deuce is craving his Jennifer Aniston salad.
Yeah.
My last thing though is just shout out Paul. Would have liked to. I can't help but reminisce about our first days here and drinking those lukewarm Bud Lights down in the freebies. So yeah, Paul definitely missed his presence on this trip for sure.
Mike, you're nice. I heard there's been some changes to that.
But now they didn't run out of beer.
Is that right?
Well, it's not ticket-based, but if you're lucky like I am, some random dude just might walk up to you and hand you a handful of tickets. I'm not sure what he was expecting in return for those. I'm guessing I'm going to find out tonight.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to see you end up face down on your bed.
What is going on over there? I don't like this.
I heard this has been an elite trip.
Oh, boy.
For certain people.
The Indy trip is underrated fun, I will say.
I got a feeling I'm going to get a call from HR in a few
someone
days.
who did it for 20 years in a row.
All right. Thanks, Deuce.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Bye. All right. Things I didn't want to hear on a call. Let's go to Eldred in North Carolina. What's up, Eldred?
Hey, fellas. Hey, lady. I'm sorry I'm not in the truck. I'm off now.
Okay. That's all right.
I caught part of the broadcast. Paul, can I ask you a question?
Anytime, sir.
All right, sir. Do you feel that a good prospect is somebody that fits our system, or a good prospect is somebody that you can fit into our system?
Well, I would rather have, if you have a really talented guy that you think you can fit into your system, that's what I'd rather have. But it doesn't make any sense to have a guy who's really talented who won't fit into your system. Do you know what I mean?
To me, that only works on defense. If a guy's really talented and he's on offense, you adjust your system for him.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'd rather have a guy who's really talented who I can fit into the system.
No,
but I don't want a guy who I can't use. Like, it doesn't matter if he's the fastest guy on the planet. If he can't do what I need him to do.
No, I know, but on offense.
Not of any use to me.
See, if a guy's really talented and he's an offensive player, you figure it out. Like, even
you figure it out, exactly.
You figure it out. The guy can catch and run. Okay, let's get him the ball. Guy's a great running back. Let's give him, I don't see where a system would preclude a really talented player from being on your team.
I would agree.
That's my point too.
I don't think that happens.
But Evan thinks he's got to be like he knocked down a couple of receivers. Not a good fit here. Not a good fit for Patriots. But this guy, that guy.
Well, I heard him the other.
Talent is talent.
Yeah, I heard him the other morning talking about the big 50-50 guys in the N'Keal Harry mold and how they're not going to go there again.
Yeah. See, but that.
Yeah, but this guy's not 50-50.
Yeah,
right. And N'Keal Harry couldn't get open and he couldn't run.
Right.
Like, that's not a really talented guy.
Right.
Like, that's what, I'm with Eldred on this. I push back on the Evan. Like, I'm not against an outside guy because outside guys haven't worked for the Patriots. Make an outside guy work for you.
Right.
Like, get the right outside guy that can run and get open.
Yep.
And one more thing I'm going to leave y'all with. I see on Patriots, I guess it's a Facebook page or whatever, this guy keeps saying that the GM from Denver saying there's a trade in the place for Judy with the Patriots. Have y'all heard anything like that?
A guy on Facebook is saying this?
No. I'm not telling you it didn't happen, but I haven't. I don't see anything about it.
He's like a writer. He's like a writer, but he's not, not a guy, but he's something to do with Patriots. What you call it? It says Jerry Judy and the manager, GM.
The GM for Denver said nothing like that. I listened to him on Monday. Tuesday.
Listen,
Paul,
I
I'm
love
like
it.
You, Paul.
Yeah.
I would take a shot at Judy.
I would give my first to Cincinnati for Higgins. I would do that.
Yeah, I don't think he's available.
Hopkins and what you call, I wouldn't do it. No, I don't think he can go nowhere either.
Yeah.
Because he got a chance to win a Super Bowl right there. I wouldn't go nowhere either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for Evan, I hope you hear me. Quentin Johnson is the guy. I don't care. There's another DK Metcalf, like I said a couple years ago.
Okay.
Everybody laughed at me.
All right. You certainly were on the Metcalf train early. Yep.
He was.
Yes, sir.
All right, Eldred.
He liked
Thank
Metcalf.
you. Now, a lot of people think, because Sean Payton's over in Denver now, that Bill's just going to be able to go and grab any guy he wants from there.
No, I think it's the opposite. Yeah. I think that had Denver hired a different coach, that especially like a defensive coach, they'd be more apt to be willing to get rid of a guy like Jerry Jeudy. But I think an offensive guy like Sean Payton probably looks at him as like first round guy, entering his fourth year. He's cheap. We're gonna like play this through. We're gonna get something out of this guy. I think it's less likely that he's available.
Cody writes in, I was thinking about my ideal offseason for the Patriots and wanted to hear yours. Pretend Bill says to you, you can make one free agent signing, you can make our first round draft pick, and you can make one trade, and you can extend one current player. If you were the decider, what would you do? Sign one, draft one, trade one, extend one. Here's mine. Free agent signing would be Mike McGlinchey. Draft pick would be Joey Porter Jr. The trade would be the second-round pick for Jerry Jeudy, and you would extend Mike Onwenu. I mean, that's a lot to think about. I can't think about all that.
You came up with it pretty quick, though. Or this is the email
No, this is Cody's. This is Cody's. I mean, the free agent signing, how about Orlando? Is Brown a free agent yet?
Orlando Brown is, not until the start of the league year.
Yeah, but he's going
to be a free agent.
Unless they sign him quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think McGlinchey's a good candidate for that. Maybe trade. I would trade for T. Higgins. That would be my trade.
Yeah.
Extend maybe Kyle Duggar.
Okay.
I definitely don't want to extend a guard. We've been down that road before.
Right.
I would extend Kyle Duggar, but there's not really a lot of candidates on that roster that I'm overly interested in extending.
Right. Like a guy like Myers, that's not considered an extension.
No.
That would be a new contract.
Right.
Yeah.
And What's the other category? Trade.
Trade.
Oh, the draft pick. I like
Yeah.
Joey Porter. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, with the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see.
Corner. I could take a corner with that pick.
Mitch from Albany. I've caught myself saying good stuff a lot recently, and I've been wondering where the hell it was coming from. Not even 15 minutes into the show, you guys said good stuff at least twice. I'm really taking in everything from the show. Keep up the good stuff.
Do we say that?
Maybe. We've had a lot of email, or not a lot, but a few emailers write in to criticize us saying things over and over like, and and I appreciate that. I keep doing that. I don't want to use those fillers.
Yeah. I just think that's how people talk.
Yeah, but when you're on the radio, I think you should not use those.
On talk radio?
Yeah.
No, I disagree. You should be conversational. You should speak the way you speak.
No, but I think
don't put on a false air about you like you're more,
I don't think it means that you're trying to be smarter than you are, but I think when you're the one who's the host and you're asking people to listen to you, I think you have an obligation to, not fill up a lot with
I understand what you're saying. I disagree. I think if you're in talk radio and you're talking for 2 hours, you're going to be conversational, and there are times in real life when you're like,
Yeah,
and this is a situation where we can't.
You know what I'm saying?
We can't just be here saying what comes out of our
I don't
top
have
of
a script.
minds. Like, we're not just blurting answers out. Is a great way to just take a pause and think about what you're about to say.
And I agree with you, Fred. Like, I don't have any problem with people pointing that out because we all have tics. I have tics, without question. I have crutches that I use all the time. And I don't have problems with people pointing those out. But I think there's a difference between a guy who maybe is doing an open to a show.
Yeah.
Or leading into a break or making a read for a that should be flawless.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to talk specifically about what you're saying. Whatever you're leading into, you should be able to do that without saying or pausing. That's different to me. But if you're asking me a question about what I think the Patriots should trade for, sign, extend, I'm thinking about this on the fly. I don't have a script in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can not pause and think about it. And when you do that, rather than dead air sometimes, comes out or comes out or what I'm saying comes out.
Yeah.
I just think that's...
We'll try to be more articulate.
I tried.
We all try to be articulate, but it's impossible.
Yeah.
We'll try harder.
Let's go to Skylar in Virginia. What's up, Skylar?
Hey, guys. How are you doing today?
Good.
All right. Two quick questions. One Patriots Unfiltered question and one Patriots question.
Okay.
Who is responsible for the Evan has returned from practice song?
New Hampshire.
Jill in New Hampshire.
Jill.
Yeah, Jill wrote
in
it.
New Hampshire.
Awesome. All right. And then one question about Mac Jones and just QB stats in general. So when the Patriots missed the playoffs in 2002, Tom Brady led the league in touchdowns, right?
Yes. 28, I believe.
Yeah, and then obviously Matthew Stafford had a billion seasons in Detroit where the team wasn't good, but he threw for 5,000 yards. I guess my question, and I'll take it off the air, is what do you think you need to see from Mac with or without a winning record to really have him be the guy?
I think we'll all know it when we see it. I really do.
If he throws if he has a Matthew Stafford like season and they go 8-9 again, I'd be more apt to roll it back with Mac.
Yeah.
If he throws for 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns, and they fall apart in other ways, I don't think I'd be sitting here telling you that it's all because Mac Jones can't win.
Yeah. Like I said, I think you'll know it when you see it when it comes to Mac.
Those questions are really hard, Skyler, because of what Fred said.
Yeah.
Your opinion can change dramatically based on what you watch. I thought there was
and the intangibles.
I thought there was a game. There was a game earlier in the year where Mac got hurt, the Baltimore game. They lost, right? It got into a shootout. They couldn't keep up. He threw 3 picks. I think it was one of his best games of the year.
Right.
I think he made more plays down the field in that game than in any other game I've seen in the 2 years that he's been the quarterback. If it looked like that a lot and they lost a lot of games 38-26 or whatever the final was in that game, something like that, I wouldn't blame it on Mac.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he made mistakes in that game. He had 3 picks.
Yep. Bert on Burton Island, loving the combine coverage, he says. If Evan is to be considered Eric's replacement, then that was the biggest upgrade in the history of upgrades. Speaking of Eric, what is he up to?
I would agree with that.
What is he up to these days? I picture him wearing a fedora, sitting in front of a cafe on Federal Hill, sipping a small cup of herbal tea.
Wine.
10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Sniffing the cork.
Yeah. I don't think it would be herbal tea. I think it would be like, espresso. An espresso.
Someone says, someone sent us a tweet about Eric writing something wine-related. I didn't click on it because
No.
Recently?
I don't care. Yeah, it was like last week.
Oh, yeah?
This is where Eric is.
Okay. Let's see. Longtime listener from Wales in the UK. This is Josh. I listened to last week's podcast today while driving home from the hospital, having visited my wife, who has just given birth to our 3rd child.
Congrats.
Another congratulations. My 5-year-old was with me, who was usually in his own world when I listened to the podcast. On this occasion, he started laughing uncontrollably and chanting, "No peas in my pie, no peas in my pie." I took the opportunity to bond with my son and chanted along with him.
Fred was adamant about his chicken pot pie. No veggies.
Yeah. However, moments later, I find myself scrambling as I listen to Fred talking about having sex in his throat. Although laughing my head off, I now have a 5-year-old asking me what that means. Great moment on PU for me and my now scarred son.
Classic.
Start him young.
Yeah. By the way, I said that lobster bisque is like sex for the throat. Not that I had it.
We should get a toddler version of the T-shirt made.
Could you shout out your youngest fans, Albie, who's the scarred one, Lonnie, and Teddy? I had no input in the name, but I have convinced myself my wife is also a big Teddy Bruschi fan. So there you go. Happy to help.
Congratulations.
Yes. I like it when people tell us what's going on, with their lives and how we integrate into that.
A lot of interaction, Freddie.
Yeah.
We provide a service.
Except now the kid's going to repeat us out in public and get his dad in trouble. So I'm going to apologize in advance.
Ray from Maine says he's currently sitting in a meeting with one AirPod in, waiting for an attempt to win a T-shirt. So, so there you go.
Do you have a quick one?
People can still do, listen to the show.
Imagine that. They're not drinking on the job.
Yeah, so it's 1:51. I'll do a question, and you'll have until 1:59.
That's only Patty. To
get the right answer. That one's too easy. That one's really easy. I already asked that one. Okay. What was the drink that Paul ordered at Dunkin' Donuts that the woman couldn't get right? What was the drink that Paul ordered at Dunkin' Donuts that the woman couldn't get right? First correct answer to webradio@patriots.com wins the T-shirt. So the email's open, webradio@patriots.com. What was the drink that Paul ordered at Dunkin' Donuts that he basically threw back at the woman because she couldn't get... Well, it's true.
I didn't throw it back.
Well,
at her. I gave it back to her and said, "Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it anyway, but keep it."
You gave it back to her with attitude.
Oh yeah, lots of attitude.
The same way you slapped down that D'Angelo sub
Incorrect.
At training camp.
This was actual attitude. That wasn't.
That was with. I believe we already have a correct answer.
Jake in Indiana.
Jake in Indiana, the blueberry colada.
Not what I pictured your Dunkin' order to be.
That was for Will.
Yeah,
when he was like, "I don't drink any of that stuff."
All right,
you know that.
You can stop sending in.
I drink Diet Pepsi and water. That's it.
No coffee?
No.
I guess that's your caffeine.
I don't drink coffee. I have my first Diet Pepsi around.
A lot of people do that
one,
but they weren't quick enough. But that's good. I love it.
Blueberry culotta is the answer.
I think we found a way to get people
How'd
to
she
listen
mess
to the
it
whole
up?
show.
Don't they just pull a lever down for
They
those
gave it.
culottes?
They made it like a coffee.
Ah.
It was like a coffee culotta
Doesn't
somehow.
she know you don't drink those?
No, it wasn't for me. It was for Will, and Will
Lady,
was
do
like,
you know who I am? You're so incompetent.
Will was
You
like
throw it
8
at
at
her.
the time. Will and they were like they're both in the car. They're like maybe 6 and 8, 7 and 9, somewhere in that area. And I was also getting a gift card. It turned into like a fiasco. Met the drive-thru, and I was like, "Well, you had to get the gift card separate." And I was like, "Okay, well, you have my card. Just I want $50 on a gift card, and you don't need to cancel the transaction. This isn't what I ordered, so you can keep that. Just give me the gift card." No. And it went on for like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't want, this isn't what I ordered. I'm not taking this. Just throw it away if you don't want it. And give me my American Express card back. Like, I was so mad I didn't even wait to get the gift card. And I ended up calling her an incompetent boob.
Yeah.
Kids thought I had another line in there, another word in there. And the kids.
I assume it wasn't boob. It was
couldn't-
another
No.
word that
Incompetent effing boob.
Yeah. I mean, she might have been as well been a referee at one of his
They could
football
not wait.
games.
The boys could not wait to tell Beth when we got home. Like, it was like, did you see what Dad did this? Like, it was like, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
But again, I'm an open book. I tell you about my flaws. I have flaws.
Blueberry colada is the correct answer, and we had a winner. We had a lot of people who knew the answer. That's good. Jack in Ann Arbor says, I like vegetables in my chicken pot pie. Jack, we are no longer friends.
I don't get your, and me of all people, I don't get your aversion to veggies in your chicken pot
Is it
pie.
peas specifically or vegetables
I
in
don't.
general?
I don't really like peas, but I can eat them in a chicken
in
pot
a pot
pie.
pie, it's fine,
Yeah,
right?
you
You're
know
not
how
gonna
people
eat it-
put peas and carrots. In
Yeah.
the,
Carrots, peas,
Put it on
corn,
the side.
anything.
Leave it out of my pie. I like the chicken, the gravy, and the flaky crust.
I understand what you're saying. Not enough people know how to season vegetables, and they just throw it in there, and it's like,
I just want to enjoy the chicken without having to get the other tastes in there. You know?
He's a very complex man.
Andrew says real conversation that's unpolished is better than hot takes that are insincere with polish. If people don't like it, they can listen to Lombardi and they can hear all the polish and hear how much of an idiot you are for wanting Metcalf.
Lombardi doesn't have polish. I actually kind of like the way that he
No.
just kind of speaks off the cuff.
But there's a difference between polish and unpolished. I think everything.
Polish is like Colin Coward.
Yeah, I think
it's so scripted.
Yeah.
It's like he's reading right off of
right.
the card.
Everything we do on this show is unpolished. But I'm just talking about the additives in conversation, like and like and you know.
Yeah,
Things
I mean,
like that.
I try not to do that all the time.
Right.
But sometimes it happens.
Right, and I appreciate people pointing it out because I want to get better.
Because you want to get better, Fred. I mean, if nothing else, you just want to improve.
I think that and talking over each other is things we shouldn't do on the
Talking
show.
over each other is an issue. Agreed on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the biggest offender of that.
Yeah.
Because I talk all the time.
I would agree with that. No,
the headphones make it easier though, because we can hear each other's voices better.
Yeah, but when you're on the other end, when you're listening like on your app or something, like not our show, but I'll listen to other shows, and when they're talking to each other, I literally can't. It's useless to me. I can't understand what anyone's saying. You know, so it's not. Andy was the worst.
He was worse.
You'd
than
want to like get into an argument with him, but he just wouldn't let you. Like his idea, like if I just keep punching really fast, I won't get punched.
There were times
You
where
know?
he would do that, and I would get, and then I would just give up, and I
Yeah.
would pout, and Fred would laugh at me because I would just go.
Oh no! But
and then there'd be like dead air for like 5 seconds, and it would go, "What?" And I go, "Oh, you're done now."
No, I would lash out at him. I would
Yes.
say, "You big-headed, small-armed, rubber-ringed,
fat mouth."
Yeah,
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms.
Low T-Rex.
Low T-Rex. Yep.
Low.
I call him low T-Rex.
get it.
You like that?
I do like that.
Okay,
I might use that.
I like when you laugh. That's good.
I might use that.
I like when you laugh. You should laugh more. Quote curse.
Poor Cape Cod Scott said orange colada. Oh, so close.
So close.
Ethan from Indiana. Vegetables is a must in a chicken pot pie. Definitely not peas, though. I disagree
Pea is like the
wholeheartedly.
only normal one to me. Peas and carrots.
Yeah. Listen,
me and Jenny's
one
like
of the
peas and carrots again.
One of the best pot pies you can buy in the grocery store is Willow Tree, right?
Willow Tree's good pot
There's
pies.
no peas and carrots in there.
I don't know if I've ever bought a pot pie.
There's no peas and carrots in there.
It's a good pot pie.
Yeah.
place that I used to get them, Ken's Kickin' Chicken. I don't think it exists anymore. I think the guy retired. That was a really good pot pie. Ken's Kickin' Chicken.
There's also a good one down my way, Centerville Pies. They make a great chicken pot pie. Although their crust is a little sweet. They use a little sugar in their crust, which some people might like.
Doesn't sound like you're one of them.
No, I like it, but I like
down the brim of your nose.
I
look
like
you just gave
entrees
us.
to not be sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry Richardson died.
Oh yeah, from
former
Carolina.
Panthers owner, 86.
No, Centerville Pies has more chicken than Willow Tree, but I like the Willow Tree crust better. So there you go.
Trade off.
Less sugar.
Yep. All right, that's it. That's it for this week's shows. Stay tuned because we have a special edition of Catch 22. Evan is live at the Combine. Alex is back here in Boston, but they're both on Catch 22. That's up next. Everyone have a good weekend.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original podcast.